It might be an understatement to say that I spent a lot of time feeling frustrated over the last 2+ years of dealing with the COVID pandemic. There was no lack of challenges for any of us in any of our lives, and it certainly was the case trying to manage a school. We had to make decisions about masks, about in-person learning, about plexiglass dividers, about who could go to which classrooms and how many people could be in the bathroom at the same time. Through all the prep of summer of 2020, my constant prayer was, God, please just let us be ready for the first day of school. So we made decisions, we released our plan, we started working. Among the many plans we developed, one that should have been pretty straightforward turned out to be the most frustrating for me, adding air purifiers to each classroom. We investigated different models, and we narrowed it down to 2, then we selected the one we thought was best. I sat down at the end of July to order them, and there were not enough available for all of our classrooms. So I ordered as many of the second choice as we needed to make up the difference. That meant that I had a new decision to make. Which of our students and teachers got the cleanest air, and who got the second cleanest air? However, we had been purchasing so many things to get ready for COVID that our credit card got declined, and the order got canceled, and we didn't have any of them. Now, not only that, we were out of time. It was 1 week before the students came back to school and 20 minutes before the teachers showed up for a mass to kick off the new year. We had put in so many hours of hard work trying to figure out how to manage a school, and at the last minute, this thing that should have been simple and was out of our control was messing up our plans. Once again, God, please just let us be ready for the first day of school. So I sat down at my computer, I got on a customer service chat, and I tried to figure it out. 20 minutes later, it was time for mass. We had found enough of option 1 for every classroom, and they were going to be here for the first day of school. I headed to mass, I sat down, and I said, God, thank you for working this out. And immediately, as clear as if he had been sitting right next to me, I heard God's voice inside say, you asked. I was blown away in that moment. You might think you're a deacon. You should know that God answers prayers. And of course, I know that God answers prayers. But the problem wasn't with God. The problem was with me. I don't always ask. Why do I do that? If I believe in an infinitely powerful God who loves me, why do I not ask for all kinds of things? Yet we don't, do we? We don't pray and we don't ask God for all kinds of things, for all kinds of reasons. I know I tend to pull my punches. I want to ask God for something, but then I think he probably has something else to do. We act as if we are inconveniencing God by asking him for his help. Maybe we have lost our faith because of an experience we had that God doesn't answer prayers. Maybe we believe that God can't answer prayers. Well, today in the gospel, we see that we are not the first people in history to struggle with this lack of faith in God. Jesus gives us a wonderful and clear story about a mean judge, and this mean judge, who clearly isn't a people person, even tends to justice because he's afraid people won't like him. How many of us, even on our grumpiest Mondays, still work hard to be kind and treat people well because we know we want to keep our friends and keep our jobs, and so we have to treat people well. Well, if we do that, then certainly on our good days, we can treat people well. But God only has good days. If we can count on difficult people helping us out of necessity, how much more can we count on a God who loves us unconditionally? But even if you think God doesn't love you unconditionally, ask him anyway. Just like the unjust judge, can you believe that he would answer your prayer just to keep you on his good side or to keep you from bothering him, like it said in the gospel? However, once we ask, it does not mean that our work is behind us. This is not ask God for things and then sit back and relax. He'll take care of it. This is the grasshopper and the ant story we heard as kids. The key point for the widow in the gospel is that she was persistent. She asked, and then she kept asking. She didn't give up. She didn't ask once and then think, well, this guy's not going to listen to me. She kept doing whatever she could do to make it happen. In the first reading, Moses didn't say, God, please win this battle for us. I'm going to go sit down and have a cup of coffee. He asked God for help. And then he climbed a mountain. And then he did what God wanted him to do way past his point of exhaustion. Last Sunday, we had a leper who had the courage and the faith to ask Jesus for help. And then he had the courage and the faith to go do what Jesus told him. And then he had the courage and faith to come back to Jesus and go the extra mile when the others did not. I didn't say, God, take care of this COVID stuff. I'm going back to bed. I worked hard and I asked. When I ran into something I couldn't do on my own, God took care of that for me. The monks of St. Benedict, who shaped our Western society more than any group or organization, have a motto: ora et labora, prayer and work. I grew up around these monks in Subiaco, and they pray constantly and powerfully, but they also work hard in everything they do. If the lawnmower is broken, they don't just pray, God fix it. They roll up their sleeves and they work on it while they pray. They daily live out today's gospel in a way that we can all imitate. Pray and work. Ora et labora. We are often irritated when we pray. I know that I can be, and I'm sure you can be also. We like to ask God for things and then get frustrated with him when they don't happen, or at least don't happen right away. We think, I guess I just have to do it myself. And then we stop asking. If we are honest with ourselves and we consider that, have we stopped asking? Have you stopped asking because you want to just ask and have it magically appear? Do we think that if we have to work for it, that somehow that means that God isn't taking care of it? Today, I call you back to prayer. What is something you need in your life right now? Think of it and ask God for it. And then ask again tonight and ask again tomorrow and the next day and on. Continue asking until it shows up or until God provides something different. But at the same time, think of what you can do to help achieve it. And to steal Father Alex's favorite homily line, let's get to work. Today's psalm asks a desperate question: where does my help come from? But it also answers that question: from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. He is not some far-off God who ignores us while we toil. He comes to us in our work and comforts and guides and helps us. He is coming to us all on this altar very soon. He will be placed in your hand. That is not a God who does not care about our problems. So today, ask him. Pour your heart into him as he literally gives his whole self to you. Let your life be changed, and together with him and with each other, let's change the world.